Hey there, and welcome to my channel. I'm Crafty Kathy, and I'm so happy and thankful that you stopped in to craft and spend some time with me today. For this week's video, I searched the internet and found the most popular Halloween DIYs of this year, and here they are. The very first one is the popular Boo Babies from Dollar Tree. Everything that you need is going to be from the Dollar Tree. I grabbed this floating ghost. It just says hanging decoration on the side of it. However many of these that you want to make is how many you're going to need. You're going to need one of their little paper towel holders, and you're going to need some kind of pails like this one, or you can use the little witch cauldrons. I have those too. And you need black felt. I accidentally grabbed black fabric, so that's what I'm going to use for the eyes. This is a very easy DIY, which really all of these are, and I actually enjoyed making this one, and you can just do so many different variations with it. You're just going to open your little ghost up and be really careful because these have tags on them. You don't want to pull any of the tags. You want to use your scissors and cut them and take the little tag pieces out because this fabric is so thin that if you just kind of pull it, it's going to rip and tear it, and you don't want to do that because it will leave like little snags in your fabric and it won't look as good. Both of the arms have little plastic pieces holding them together, little tags. And then there's also a tag that's on the very top of it. And so just be careful with all the tags. Make sure that you flip it inside out and cut everything off with your scissors. When you get your little cloth piece pulled off, this is what it's going to look like. It's literally the arms and the head of the ghost. And we're going to put the fabric to the side. We are going to use it, but just not right now. All you're going to do is lay down your little paper towel holder, and you are going to place the head at the very top. Or if you want a shorter ghost, you can actually, make it a little bit further down on the paper towel so your ghost will be shorter. But you can see here where I placed mine. And I actually tried to use tie wraps, like cable ties, to put this on the first time and realized that the best method to put this on is just regular old clear tape, like some thick tape. Now, this is Scotch tape. I'm pretty sure that I got this at Dollar Tree also around Christmas. And so all you're going to do is just wrap it up really good. And just to make sure that it was extra safe and extra secure, I kind of went in all directions with this tape. I didn't want mine to move. And guys, by the time that I got done, this sucker will not go anywhere. And if you're worried about the weird shape of the head, you just use your hands and kind of mold that tape all around. See how I'm kind of like pushing it in with my hands just to make sure that when you lay that cloth back over it, it's not going to be all distorted looking. Now, after I made sure that my little baby wasn't going to slide around and he was nicely placed on that paper towel holder, I just kind of moved his hands forward. You see how I've got them here. And I'm not going to use the sheet the way that it comes. You can use the eyes that's already on there and just literally cover him up. But I wanted mine to be more cutesy instead of scary looking. So what I did was flip mine inside out, and I placed the black part with his eyes and such on the back. I'm going to flip it around and show you how I kind of hid the little black part there. What I did was just put a little bead of glue, kind of just run it down, and then I just kind of pinched it together because it's all going to fold and crease anyways, so you're never going to see that part. It's just my little way of trying to disguise it a little bit better than what it was. So let's go back to the front part. Basically, you're just going to kind of fool with it and drape it. But I do need to tell you, since we put tape on it, don't like move it around too much because that tape will grab the fabric and snag it also or make runs in it. The next thing that you're going to do is grab your black felt or in my case, black fabric, which, to be honest, it worked totally fine. Just a piece of black fabric, whatever you got. What I did was I just used that little metallic marker from Dollar Tree because it's white, and I just created a couple of little circles, and I cut those out for the eyes. Then you're going to simply take your eyes and you're just going to glue them on the front. You don't have to be too particular about this. It's going to turn out cute no matter what you do. Just trust me. I just put like a little bead of glue and popped them on there. And I must say that my eyes are not exactly the same. I think they look better when they are that way. None of us have two eyes that are exactly the same, so I wouldn't assume that a ghost would either. And I just kind of fooled with it a little bit more, trying to be careful not to make runs in it. And these are some of the little cauldrons that come out at the Dollar Tree. And you see how his little arms are? I just moved his arm so it would be more kind of like a little hook, is about the best way that I can describe it. And I just laid the little cauldron on there. And I don't think I show it on camera, but I did put a little bead of glue underneath it just so that it won't go anywhere. In his other hand, I thought that a really cute idea would be to grab one of these Happy Fall tags. Now, the ones that say Happy Fall are actually from the Hobby Lobby. I got them for $1 when they're half off. However, the one that says Welcome Fall is from Dollar Tree, so you have options here. And I just grabbed one of these little picks. It's like a floral pick that I got at Hobby Lobby. You can even use one of the little skewers, you know, the ones from the Dollar Tree, or even a toothpick, whatever you have. And I'm just going to place the little Happy Fall on that, and he's going to be holding that in his other hand. I literally just put a little bit of glue down one of the L's in the word fall, and I'm going to place my little stick right on the back of it so that it will be inconspicuous and you won't see it. Now mine had a little wire hanging off of it, so I just cut the wire off, and I'm just going to glue this right in his little hand. And I want you to see how cute this is, and it was so easy. I realized at this point that I needed to put the little bead of glue on the cauldron just to make sure that it didn't go anywhere, and I just put the bead right underneath the little handle so you couldn't see it. Now I made a second one, and this one is going to be the little girl. So I had to give her a Crafty Cathy hair bow, and of course I picked just the white and black because, hello, it matched her outfit. So I put that in her hair so we would know that it's the little girl. And in one of her hands, I put one of the little pails that I showed you at the first of this DIY. And I wanted her to be a little bit different than all the other ones that I saw. So instead of sticking a pumpkin in her other hand, I found some of these cute little sunflowers that I'm pretty sure that I picked up at the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to put that little bouquet in her other hand. I hope you like these. For my second DIY, I noticed a lot of people are grabbing up these stackable pumpkins from the Dollar Tree. They do have a version that is $1.25 that I did in a previous DIY. However, these are the ones that are the $5. They are 2 foot tall, and also Five Below has these for just $5. I took mine outside and I spray painted them with a color called Moss Green, and it is by Rust-Oleum 2 times. And I'm going to make where you can actually see the whole thing because it was very hard to show it and where you could see the whole project. So I'm going to use my brown antique paste. I get this from Lori at Milton's Daughter if you need some of this. It is a Pentart product and I use it a lot in my DIYs. And what I'm going to do is just run this up and down the ribs of the pumpkin. I think that's what you call them, the ribs, like all the little indentions, in other words, so that it looks like it's just kind of distressed looking. Now, you can probably use the Waverly Antique Wax for this too, but I love the thickness and the consistency of this antique paste because I think that it made the project a lot easier and easier to put on. My favorite way, always, of putting this stuff on is with my finger. I think it just does a better job. And while I'm adding this antique paste, I do want to say thank you so much for stopping by my channel and my video. I'm so glad that you're here. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would love for you to hit that little red subscribe button because it's always free, and that way you can become a part of our family. I am just on a crazy crafting journey, and I would love for you to come along with me. Also, if you are getting some value out of this video and you do like it, hit the like button because that really helps me out on YouTube. And also leave me a comment. I want to know which of these is your favorite and if any of these DIYs is something that you're going to be trying this Halloween season. Oh, and by the way, be really careful because there was a few little spots where the paint would kind of chip off. Even though I used that Rust-Oleum Matte Clear, which is a sealer, it still chipped off in a couple of little spots, which didn't bother me much because mine's going to be outside. And by the time the season's over with, you're probably going to see a little bit of the orange peeking through here and there. But that also reminds me, they do sell these pumpkins in all white, and then they have a candy corn version where one is white, one is orange, and one is yellow. So I think if you pick the white one, it probably would have been better than the orange ones that I picked if you're going to spray paint them. Now, I ended up getting two, but in this DIY, or today's video, I only did one because I didn't have enough stuff to finish both of mine. But I just wanted to give you the idea of what I did. And if you like that idea, you can run with it or you can do something totally different. I'm also going to tell you the things that I did that did not work out. Do not use a pool noodle like I did, because I made a big mess. Pieces of my pumpkin came off. I was so mad at this point. I thought that the foam pool noodle would be the best thing to put on because I'm going to add florals. And I realized really quickly that it was not. You can see my face, how mad I was here. And I had to mute the video because I'm not really sure all the things that came out of my southern mouth. And so what I did was just cut up a little pieces, little pieces of like floral foam because you don't need that much. And these worked much better than the pool noodle did. The pool noodle just did not want to stick. And I just used hot glue, and I'm going to place it over those awful, ugly places that where the spray paint came off. I also did use just a little bit of the Fix-All glue from Dollar Tree, their super glue, because I realized that it would stick once it had a chance to dry. So basically, the way that I did mine was just cut a few pieces of that smaller floral foam down, as you see here. And then I'm going to stick one more little piece down on the bottom there so that it will go that same distance around that pool noodle did that I first tried. I would say I probably have about 6 or 7 inches worth of the foam going around there. And then up top, I put a small piece because I was going to put some florals there. And this face that I'm making is absolutely killing me at this point. So I'm just going to let you know that we are quickly moving on. I'm going to use this Spanish moss, and I get this stuff from Hobby Lobby. I don't like the Spanish moss from Dollar Tree because it always smells like cat pee. And you may think I'm crazy, but I promise you, next time that you get some from Dollar Tree and you open it up, you tell me if yours does not smell like a cat just went by and peed in it. And it's a boy cat too because it's just got that smell like when a cat sprays. Oh, I can't stand that smell. But anyways, so moving on, the way that I put my Spanish moss on, I just add a whole bunch of hot glue on that floral foam and I just kind of like glob it on. That is the way that I put mine on. You may have a different way, but I just was trying to cover up where I had put, that floral foam. Once I got all of the Spanish moss on that bottom part, that's where I put the most of the Spanish moss at. When I got that put on, I grabbed some spray adhesive, and I like to use the Gorilla brand because it's really good, and I sprayed it all over that moss because it will help it to not fall out so much. And you can also use hairspray, is what I've been told, that it will basically do the exact same thing, which is not like shed or fall out so much. And see, like I told you, mine's going outside, so I wanted to make sure and put a lot of this spray adhesive on it so that it would hang with me the rest of the season. What I did from here was really very simple. I do have this one pick from Walmart, and it just says sunflower pick. And as you see, it's like a large sunflower and then with some leaves behind it. I cut it down pretty short and I'm going to add it to the right side. That's pretty much going to be like my main focal point. I did realize that if I went putting a lot of florals on this, that it was going to be too much weight and it would have fallen off. So I kept it very simple and very sweet. I was trying to figure out here how to put this little flower on, and my first thought was to grab a skewer from Dollar Tree and cut the end of it off, or you could use a toothpick, same thing. And I was going to put that in one end and use it. See, here's my skewer. I cut the end of it off, and I was just going to stick that inside this flower and use that to go inside my floral foam. Now, in any other arrangement, this would work and it would be fine. But as you see, my flower is kind of laying sideways, like I put it in sideways. And that skewer was not a perfect fit in the end of the flower. So if I would move, or literally the wind would blow, the flower would blow off of that skewer. So what I ended up doing to remedy this was just taking the bottom of one of my florals. You know how they come on the sticks, and when you cut them off, I just cut off the very tiniest little end of the stick. That came off of a different floral, and that's what ended up working perfectly. I'm sorry that I am right in the way, but you'll see in just a second. It was just a better fit because it fit up inside that flower perfectly, and it did not fall out, and it was so much easier to place inside there. I only used 3 of those little pieces like that I put the flower in, and I also would take just a little bit of glue and put it inside that flower you see and add the stick. And that way, when the glue dries or cools down, it's in there perfectly. You see how I was just having a bad day this day. I was being silly because I was like, yay, it's finally working. It's great. Yay. Yay me. Okay, now we're going to make this beautiful bow. I got the ribbon from Amazon. I cut off a very long piece of the ribbon, probably about 1 foot. And here I'm just going to dovetail both sides of it because we're going to use this whole long piece as the tails. I wanted the tails to kind of be streaming down the front and down the side. And so when I realized that that's exactly how I wanted it to go, I was set at this point, and the rest of it was easy as pie. Now I'm going to make the simplest bow that you've ever seen in your life. All I'm going to do is just cut it and literally make a circle. So easy. You put it together, make a circle, and just kind of squish it together in the middle. And that is going to be our bow. I'm going to use that part, and I'm going to put the tails underneath it, and I'm going to use a zip tie to zip tie it all together. After I tie wrap my bow together, I just cut off the excess little piece of the tie wrap there, or the zip tie, however you call it. And I'm just going to use a whole bunch of hot glue right at the very middle part of the first and the second pumpkin there. I'm going to place my bow on it, and then I have to hold it for just a few seconds. And then it's going to be ready to go. Then I wanted to add some jute twine to the very top, to the stem, just so that it would have a little, you know, something special looking up there. I am happy with the way that this turned out, despite the fact that I was having a rough day. It's just because I didn't feel good that day. And, you know, we all have days like that. We just have to learn to give ourselves some grace. And I almost forgot, I did take one of those little happy fall signs like I used with the Boo Baby and added that onto the ribbon. And I'm going to show you how I style this. I always put these outside in a planter, but I always set it on a grapevine wreath for stability. The third DIY can be used in so many ways. It's those little glass pumpkin pails from Dollar Tree. Now you can put these on candlesticks, you can put them on stakes in the yard, along the walkway. There's so many different things you can do. And if you blink, you'll miss this one. I actually did this one while I had set all this sage out so that I could dry it and use it, because I like to use it at Thanksgiving. You just take one of the tops of your little solar lights, and most of us got these at Dollar Tree. Now, you can just set it on the top of your little pail, or you can glue it on there with some of the Fix-All glue from the Dollar Tree, whichever one you want to do. And that's literally all you do. And I'm going to show you how I like to style mine. Now, the first one that I have here is just on a candlestick. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like if you just hang it anywhere. And of course, since it's solar lights, when the lights go down at night, it has a beautiful glow. And I hope you like this one. I wanted to get about 6 of these done so that I could put them along the walkway and show you how beautiful they are at nighttime when they're all lit outside, like at a walkway. But of course my Dollar Tree only had 1 or 2, and so I just had to work with what I had. Now I do plan on looking for more of these so that I can finish them, but they are a beautiful little DIY for the Halloween season. And if you stuck with me through all of today's video, I just want to thank every single one of y'all from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget that if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, to hit that little red subscribe button and become a part of our family, because we would love to have you. And if you did enjoy this video, please hit the like button, that's the thumbs up button, and leave me a comment. Let me know which of these was your favorite. Now don't forget that my videos are every Monday and Thursday at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and I wanted to show you guys how big the babies are getting. I've only had them for 3 or 4 weeks now, and I cannot believe how fast they're growing. They're going to be grown before we know it. But I love every single one of y'all, and I'm so thankful, and I'll see you back here next time, Lord willing, and the creek don't rise.